that happens in this virtual world, and I just love that arc, the Aincrad arc, and that whole first season of him trying to save her and get her out, and it's really, really cool. But Sword Art has this way of like adjusting itself and recreating itself over and over. So like the Aincrad arc and the Fairy arc it just feels so different. And then Gungale and Caliber and Mother's Rosario, like they all just have these different feelings. And Ordinal Scale reminded me a lot of the Aincrad arc. And now Alicization is just this whole new feeling, like a restart of the game. I think in that whole journey, Kirito's just gotten a little more clever. Like he really internalizes things, and he's become almost like this detective. From his roots of I'm just a hardcore gamer. I want to be the sort of ideal gamer and destroy this thing. And now he's grown into this first very true, authentic love with Asuna, and now like it's his job to kind of solve these things and investigate these things that are happening. But he's just as sort of passionate about gaming and just as good at playing a game. But it's interesting to see that growth. So I think like he's just become kind of better at holding in those emotions and solving these things and all of that. Yeah.
So I think one of my favorite things about Sword Art Online is actually the blooper reels.
Yeah.
They're funny.
How goes the blooper reels at SAO?
Oh, they're good.
They're funny.
So I
Like
wanted to ask
they're
you,
hilarious.
sort of as a voice
It's
actor,
on YouTube.
Where do your ideas for blooper reels come from?
So the majority of the time, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, I'm just trying to make the people in the other room laugh. Because we have a engineer, a director, and sometimes a producer there in the room, and I try to say things that fit in the sync to make them laugh, or to leave bombs and things for other actors that I know are coming in later. I've done that a few times too. It's just really fun to do that. Sometimes Alex Von David, the director, will write bloopers out for us too, because he just wants us to say those dirty things. So it's a combination of all of those. And I know Alex appreciates them. And Hiroe, the producer, I feel like she hasn't Googled everything that she's let out in the world. So I thank her for that. Yeah.
I just remembered because I started recording it, and I'm still watching the series. I just remembered you are the voice of Kagura in Naruto Next Generation.
I am.
I was about to mention that on
And,
Instagram. Like, yeah.
How does it feel to be now in a character in Naruto?
I've actually been a few characters in the Naruto and Boruto universe. I'm in the Boruto movie. I just call my character Bubblegum Ninja. He's one of the bad guys. He chews bubblegum and puts his energy into the gum as it flies out.
Oh, I saw that movie.
In the movie, Boruto is cheating and kills him real fast. So unfortunately, he doesn't stick around too long in the tournament. But Bubblegum Ninja. And now Kagura was really fun. He almost acts like the tour guide, and then it's nice that he's got a sword also. I tend to play a lot of characters with swords. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
I've noticed that a lot.
So I think of that as kind of my typecast. And actually, there's a show that came out on Netflix called Revisions. Has anyone seen that yet?
No.
In your queue. Okay. So I play Daisuke, who's the main character in Revisions. Lauren Landa is also one of the bad guys. She's fantastic in the show. So I got cast as the character, and first off, he's super angry and yelly. He wants to protect everyone. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing why I got cast as this character. Then he gets a robot who has a sword, and I'm like, there it is, the ultimate typecast.
Characters with swords?
Yep. I was actually in a show called Soul Eater Not.
Oh, I saw that years back.
And I play a character named Clay, who is literally a sword. I'm like, now you guys have done it. I'm finally cast as the sword itself.
So now, do you feel like Eddie kind of? You feel like you're you're attached to character. You're attached to characters who wield swords.
I mean, I like playing characters who wield swords. I feel like I probably have more
Like-
experience than
like-
many other people. Maybe I should learn some sword play. That would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, like something like if someone wanted to get you for another anime and it's again another character that wields a sword, like do you think you're like the perfect type for a sword wielding character?
I think so. It would fit right into typecast. I don't know how that's happened. I mentioned before, like, it's so difficult to book these roles, and as an actor, like, I'm not selecting the roles myself. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of auditioning for all these different places. I'm a hired gun. So basically, I cast my net out there as wide as possible and see what comes back. And it's really interesting that all these characters with swords just happen to come back. And it's not one person that's like, oh, Bryce is everyone that has a sword. Like, this is auditioning for people in multiple companies with all sorts of different experience, some people who are familiar with my work, some people who I've never met before, and I just happen to be cast as these characters. So it's interesting when people are drawing parallels. Like the most recent one, I just got cast as Silver the Hedgehog in Team Sonic Racing.
I saw that on Instagram.
It is so cool to join the Sonic universe.
Oh yeah.
And he kind of has this like silver spiky hair. He's like Sonic from the future almost.
Telekinesis.
What was that?
He used telekinesis.
Telekinesis, yeah. So it's such an awesome character. I also play this character named Nagito in Danganronpa who has this silver crazy hair, and people have seen like a resemblance between them, and now I'm seeing these photos online of Silver cosplaying as Nagito, and it's amazing. So sometimes that just happens, and there's no rhyme or reason to why it happens. Like the folks at Sega weren't like, oh, that's Nagito, he'd totally be good as Silver. I don't know how like they kind of chose me for that role, to take over that role. So just sort of happens. Hopefully I play lots more sword wielding overpowered pro tags. Happy to do that. I'm going to kind of jump over here. I only have a few more minutes. Yes.
This is just, I want to ask you what your opinion was, since you voiced the character and understand the character.
Yeah.
What kind of a gamer do you think Aaron would be if he was in the First Sword Art
Oh
Online?
my god. Crossover.
So Aaron in SAO. Wow, that's a good one. I think like you know, as you put the helmet on, it's supposed to like hold your body still. I feel like Aaron would get so angry and frustrated, his body would actually move and he'd break the helmet.
What about like an Avatar and the ICU? No, not the ICU. In the Avatar movie, he's just he gets transferred. His mind gets transferred into the Avatar. He just just the wild the Avatar the creature is, and his actual body's just moving as well.
I think that'd be Aaron. Yeah. Yeah. And if you go the other way, if you put Kirito in the world of Attack on Titan.
He's gone.
No! He's gone. He's dead.
Yeah, he wouldn't last very long. Now, if Kirito could be himself in a game, so he's cheating, and now in the world of Attack on Titan, so he's in the Attack on Titan games, Kirito would be Levi.
Oh, burn.
Has anyone read the manga for Attack on Titan?
No.
Say nothing. I have no idea what's about to happen. I just want to know what's in the basement. What's in the basement?
Yes!
And now they're teasing us with the opening. They show the basement and zoom in a little bit. I'm like, I want to know. Hopefully we'll find out soon. Okay, I have time for, do I have one or two more? 5 minutes. Okay, cool. We'll take a couple more questions. Yes?
Okay, so you have voice acted
Pokemon Origins.
Yeah.
And Red does not talk at all in the games.
Yes.
So and he's canonically really silent. So I'm just wondering how was it like for you with your trademark screamy voice to have to play somebody that's just quiet?
Incredible. I mean, I played those games all the way through. I picked Charmander first. When I got the audition for Origins, for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about Pokemon Origins, which is follows the Pokemon trainer Red, who is the trainer who came before Ash. Unfortunately, for me, Red is too good of a Pokemon trainer and caught all of them in 4 episodes.
Damn.
So he doesn't stick around for very long, and I wanted that story to go way further because it was sort of surreal to take on that role. I just tried to play him as sort of excited and sort of how I felt playing the role. I think a lot of that came out in my performance. Who hasn't seen Origins? Cool. It's on Amazon and it's also on YouTube. It's really easy to find and it's quick. And it's kind of like Pokemon how I wanted it. It almost feels like a more adult version of the show. I hope they go back and do more and go either more in depth to what Red does, so we get 300 episodes and not just 4.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I've had the experience of playing a couple, characters where I'm like, I can't believe I'm working for this franchise. So I was a big fan of Final Fantasy growing up, and when they brought Dissidia out, I got to play Zidane, aka Zidane.
Decinia's game was awesome.
Such a great game. Zidane is the main character from Final Fantasy IX, and that's another one where they didn't have any voice acting. They didn't start that until